Hi, this is Dave Clark. Recently I was posed with the question of how to run a statement in one query window on multiple databases at once. I'm going to show you two methods that I use, which would be SP MS for each DB, that's a system stored procedure, and also the concept of registered servers. Registered servers I know is available in 2008 and above. I cannot recall though if it's available in 2005. I tend to use 2008 and higher all the time, so my memory's a little foggy if that's available in 2005 or not. Um, Today's video, I'm going to discuss, just due to lack of time here, we're going to discuss only the SP for each DB, and then in a future video, we'll go over the registered servers option. Now, if you're not familiar with either of these two methods, you may think of something such as creating a while loop to go through the databases and then using four-part syntax and maybe linked servers, query the databases. That would probably work. However, I believe the methods that I'll discuss today would be a bit simpler. And these methods do each have their own caveats, and I'll try to point those out as they come up. So first, I want to review the SPMS for each DB. So let me go ahead and open my file here. So SPMS for each DB runs a command on all databases on the instance. So if you're running against a named instance or your default instance. So right now I'm running against my named instance demo. So a common example, if you look in maybe books online or look up anything on the internet about this, you'll see the most simplistic examples. And this being one of them. Run this on each database. So basically this stored procedure, when it runs on each database, no matter which one you run it on, whether it's on master or AdventureWorks, wherever you run it from, it runs against each database. So the question mark evaluates to the database name. So it's going to basically say use the database and then select the DB name as database name. Again, this is the type of examples you'll see, but it's just purely for demonstration purposes to show you that it works. So I'll go ahead and run this, and you'll see that we get one column from each query called database name, and each has the database that was run on listed in there. And those are all the databases that are available on my instance. So probably goes through them in DBID order, because we know that tempDB is always 2, and so 1 through 4 there, and then I know this is the order I added those in. So okay, so now that is just an example to demonstrate what that stored procedure does. Now something that's more realistic is you're going to want to run a query selecting from maybe user tables that you've created on various databases. But I have, for example, here I'm going to query from the customer table. And if we look at DB test or demo test DB, I've got a customer table in there, and demo test DB2, I have a customer table in there. Now this first one has some data in it. Let me see if I select from there. That one does have data, and then this second one does not have any data in it. Just so we'll be able to tell if these run successfully. So let's say use the database and select the customer ID from customer. So when we go ahead and run that, now granted it works. I got those 3 records from the demo test DB database, and from demo test DB 02 I got the results of no records, but you're also provided with an error for every database that doesn't have this table. For example, the system databases, they don't have that table on there, and I don't want to have to create user tables on there simply so my SPMS for each DB runs successfully. So then you get into trying to do things a little more clever and basically going through dynamic SQL and creating a SQL statement and running that. So here's just a quick example on this. You want to just change the database names that I have below for anything that for your own purposes, and replace the basic query with one of your own. And single quotes will need to be escaped. For example, if you had a where condition on here, like where name equals Acme, that's going to provide the syntax error. It would have to be in the form of Acme, like so. Okay, so I'm just declaring this variable. You can declare it as varchar max, whatever. Just for the quick, simple purposes, just declare it as varchar 4000. And then I'm going to set it to be if the database name is in demo testdb or demo testdb02, then execute this statement, which would be use the database and then select customer ID from customer. Because what happens, as we saw up here, even if I put like a condition around here, if the table exists or something, it's going to pre-process that query, and then still we're going to get, a message that the customer table is invalid. So here this will only execute this statement if it passes this first condition. So let's go ahead and run that. You notice we get our results from the first database, the second database, and we have no error messages. So I hope that helps to explain a little bit about SP MS for each DB. There's a little bit more that you can do with it. For example, if I hover over this, you'll see it's a little bit cut off there, but the tooltip comes up and shows there's command 1, command 2, command 3. There's also a pre-command and post-command that are available. But I just wanted to basically put out there that how this is available and how you can use it. I think this last scenario here is probably the most common, because unless you're working out of system tables or selecting the most basic thing that exists in every single database, then running something like that it isn't going to be very helpful. When you try to do this, that's when you'll run into the problems, and then the combination of the dynamic SQL and the stored procedure can make for a more powerful execution of that. So this is great if you want to test something against multiple databases and look at the results all in one query window in one shot. All right, thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great day.